This picture has a very, very special place in my heart. This was me on my 13th birthday, June 8th, 1968. I got a very, very special present that day. I got a new little sister. Here she is. She came from Seoul, Korea. And here's my other sister, Lisa. She came from Seoul, Korea. Well, I'm going to shock you. The reason that we adopted these two kids is because the United States of America had deemed not only my father unfit, but also our family unfit to adopt white children. Now, I want to point this out because I took this situation and embraced it, and I love both of these girls here as my own sisters, just as my two kids are adopted, and they are not white either. So I've never been a racist, and I never will be. But I can see what's going on in this world, and if you follow this story, I think it's pretty in your face on what's going on today based upon what is going on, what went on back then. Well, as you know the story, I was born through eugenics, the eugenics movement, a little partition called eutelogenesis, and they wanted to create highly gifted, superior, intelligent people by using artificial insemination. So this guy was sterilized. Most wonderful man I've ever met in my life. You know, we all have crappy dads, some of us, or crappy times when our parents were crappy to us. This man here, he was a saint. And he knew that I didn't know, and I didn't know till I was 28 years old. But I kind of felt there was something really weird about him being this short, me being this tall, me having blonde hair, him having reddish brown hair. Nothing in common. But I made the best of it because my dad loved me unconditionally. I remember when I was a kid, we'd go out and he'd always say, every Saturday, he'd take me around to his friends and parade me off and say, "That's my boy." And I could see the sparkle in his eyes as I knew how proud he was. But at that time, I didn't know why. This was my mother. She was the one that was the recipient of the eugenics movement, the eutelogenesis procedure. All she wanted was a child. It was the 50s. Everybody was having kids, except Herbert and Betty. They had none. My mom was bound and determined to have a family, no matter what it would take. And on September 9th, 1954, she was a recipient of an anonymous sperm donor that she would never meet and that I was never supposed to know. It was done in secret. It was done in an era, in a cloud of secrecy and behind an evil shroud that ultimately destroyed the marriage of these two people while strengthening my relationship with both and enabling me to be blessed with two wonderful sisters, even though they're not blood related, just like my kids. Pretty amazing. They're adopted, my kids are adopted. History repeats itself. Watch some of my other videos. I think you'll be astounded. So, when my mom, after I was born, she got restless and wanted a couple more kids, or at least another one. So she told me the story of how, she says, "Greg, how would you like a little sister?" I was about 11, 12 at the time. And I says, "Absolutely." I was lonely. I hated being an only child. But little did I know I had hundreds of other offspring throughout the world from this eugenically motivated sperm donor in the eutelogenesis movement. The whole thing was based upon a big lie, and it still is today. Our society is based upon this photograph here. It's called population control. And the more I'd find out about it after I started unraveling these things, is the more seemingly crazy it made me, especially if I wouldn't do the research and find out the truth behind this veil of lies. And that's what I do every day now. It's like a ministry. I seek the truth and I promote it. Seek the truth and promote it. Well, this brings an end or a beginning to this picture here. I remember this was during the Vietnam War, the height of the Vietnam War. My mother was a gutsy person. She was just incredible. You can see some resemblance here. I should show you my biological father, my sperm donor father. I think you would get a kick out of it. I know I do. I look at him and I look at me and I go, this is me. Because the picture I have of him was taken at about the same age that I am now. Perhaps he's a little bit older. Well, there's a lot to cover here in this story. A whole lot. I think I'm going to rewrite my book because a story like this just should not go covered. This is too important. This guy here, he kind of reminds me of Jesus because he did nothing wrong. He was the best-natured guy you'd ever meet with a warm heart and a giving soul. And look what they did to him. Now look at the people that we have in high places. If he flushed them down the toilet, that's the kind of comparison I would make. This guy is a saint. My mother was a pioneer. Me, I'm not so sure about yet. Oh, by the way, this shirt here is a Nebraska Centennial shirt from March of 1967. I remember buying this shirt. It was like $1.50. I love this shirt. Well, actually it was a year before this picture was taken, but nevertheless, this is my eugenically created family. And it's just really hard for me to talk about. If you can imagine that. I mean, this whole situation that I somehow have been transported to today, April 28th, 2013, is really hard sometimes to try to figure out where it's leading. I'm just not sure. The more I learn, sometimes the more confused I get, and on the other hand, sometimes more enlightened I become. But that's why I do videos, to share with you my story in hopes that you will be able to determine for yourself that everything's going to turn out fine. Everything in my life is going to turn out fine. I just need to focus on the end result. I need to focus on my spiritual side, my called side, my calling side. Whatever I'm supposed to be doing in this world, I want to do. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching this video specifically. Very hard for me to look back at this and be nothing but utterly shocked at what I would find out all these years later. Secrets are bad. Deception is bad. Satan is alive and well, but he's not ruling my life, nor does he need to rule yours.